Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today, as you can see, we're going to be doing AFL One Hit Wonders. This was an idea suggested to me by a commenter at the start of the year. Took a while, but I'm finally getting around to doing it. Now, Flair Footy did a video on one season wonders not all too long ago, so I don't want to completely copy him, and thus I've changed it up a little bit. I've decided to go with both players who had one good season and then dropped off, and also players who only played one good game throughout their entire career before dropping off the face of the earth. So it's a little bit different, just to avoid completely ripping off his video. But without further ado, let's get straight into this. Starting off this video, we will be talking about Ben Ronke, who in 2018 set the AFL world alight with a 7-goal performance in just his third game of AFL footy in round 8 over the Hawks. Before this, he was a relatively unknown player, but this performance really put his name on the map, and everyone was talking about him for a while. He had a pretty handy 2018 season as a whole, kicking 24 goals from 18 games. He had another 5-goal game later in the year against North Melbourne, and played in Sydney's losing elimination final that year. After the 2018 season, however, he experienced a drop-off in form, kicking only 9 goals in the 2019 season, kicking none in 2020 or 2021, and was eventually delisted at the end of 2022, adding just another 6 goals to his name. Ultimately, it was a host of injuries as well as the emergence of other young small forwards for the Swans that kept him out of the side and playing consistent footy, and eventually resulted in his delisting. Another player who had an exceptional game early on in their career was Jason Tutt of the Western Bulldogs, who in 2011 against Port Adelaide produced an incredible 4-goal, 26 disposal game on debut, even kicking 3 goals with his first 3 kicks in the AFL. After this astonishing debut, the future was looking bright for Jason Tutt. However, in the 3 years following his debut season, he managed only 23 games before eventually switching to Carlton, where he only played a further 2 seasons of AFL football before being delisted. Adrian McAdam loomed large as one of the brightest young stars for North Melbourne in 1993. His 7 goals against Richmond was the most of any North Melbourne player on debut. This was then followed up by a 10-goal bag against Sydney and another 6-goal bag against Footscray, taking his goal tally out to a total of 23 in his first 3 games of AFL football, which is still an AFL record to this day. A few rounds later, he kicked another 9-goal bag against Collingwood, and by the end of the season, he had 68 goals to his name, which was an incredible effort for his first season of AFL football. McAdam followed up his debut year with an underwhelming 1994 season, where he only managed just over a goal a game. In 1995, he played just 1 game, and after that, he did not play another game of AFL football again. McAdam's incredible first season will forever have him remembered as one of the biggest one-season wonders in AFL history. In the year 2000, Shane Woewodin became the latest Melbourne Demons player to win the AFL Brownlow medal, amassing 24 votes across the season and beating the likes of Scott West, Anthony Koutoufides and Andrew McLeod. Woewodin ended his career on 200 games across both Melbourne and Collingwood. However, he was never able to recapture the form he found in that 2000 season, with his next highest Brownlow polling season coming in 2003 for Collingwood, where he polled 12 votes. Now, that's not to say that Woewodin was a bad player apart from this one season, because he was a very consistent and durable player for both Melbourne and Collingwood, only having played less than 20 games in a season once across his career. But his failure to live up to the expectations set by himself for this one magnificent season sees him qualify for this list. In 2006, Dean Polo made his debut for the Richmond Football Club in front of 58,000 people at a Dreamtime at the G matchup between Richmond and Essendon. In this game, Polo produced a match-winning 3-goal, 28-disposal performance, netting him the Best on Ground award. After this game, he played out the rest of the 2006 season, as well as 4 seasons after that for Richmond. However, he was never able to produce another game quite like this, and in 2010 he was delisted following only 4 games, as well as an incident where he was given a 1-match club-issued ban for an incident at a pub. He was given a lifeline by St Kilda for the 2011 season, however after 2012 he was delisted by the Saints and never played another AFL game again. Another player to announce himself on the big stage only to never be seen again was Collingwood's Mark McGough, who in round 5 of 2002 produced a 24 disposal game to win the Anzac Day medal. McGough played only 49 games in total for Collingwood and St Kilda and is almost exclusively remembered for this one game. Danny Del Rey debuted for the Bulldogs back in 1990, however it wasn't until 1992 that he became a household name at the Bulldogs, kicking 70 goals and leading their goal scoring that season. After this, however, he had a drop-off in form, kicking only 36 goals in the next season before retiring at the end of the 1994 season. After his time for the Bulldogs was up, he played for local leagues such as the SANFL and the VFA, where he once again became a prolific goal scorer. It is still his 1992 season, however, that he will be most remembered for, especially his 8-goal bag in a qualifying final against Geelong. In round 16 of the 2017 season, Ryan Nyhaus made his debut for the Fremantle Dockers, where he kicked 4 goals, including the match-winning goal. After this game, however, he only managed a further 16 games in his AFL career, kicking only 1 more goal in total, and at the end of the 2019 season, he was delisted by the Fremantle Dockers and never played another AFL game again. The final player we will talk about in this video is Jack Anthony of the Collingwood Magpies, who in 2009 really came into his own as a medium-sized forward for Collingwood. In 2008, Jack Anthony had shown promising signs for Collingwood, kicking 25 goals, but in 2009 he had a true breakout season, booting home 50 goals from 24 games, even kicking the match winner in a semi-final against Adelaide. Unfortunately, he could not live up to the hype and expectation in the following 2010 season, having been dropped after a very poor start to the year, kicking only 5 goals from limited games. After limited opportunity at Collingwood that year, he departed the club at the end of the season and nominated for the pre-season draft, where he was picked up by Fremantle. At Fremantle, however, he was not able to turn his fortunes around, only playing 2 seasons, limited games, and not adding to his goal tally. He was delisted at the end of the 2012 season and never played another AFL game again. So there you have it, guys. There are some one-hit wonders in the AFL. Some other players I did not mention are Jaden Stevenson, Marbia Chol, Jack Ginnivan, and Will Brodie. However, all of those players are still currently playing in the AFL and have time to turn their careers around. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.